Welcome to the Tri-Point Semi-Pro Network, also known as TSPN. The Tri-Point Semi-Pro Network is a platform where semi-pro athletes are praised for their good performance and sportsmanship, where stats are highlighted and teams are recognized for their high-level play. So, man, today, right now, is officially episode 1, okay? Unfortunately, episode 1 is starting week 4 of the semi-pro year, but you got to start somewhere, man. Okay, so today we're going to be getting into a couple things. We're going to talk about some players that submitted their footage in. We're going to highlight those players. We're going to talk about the defensive player of the week. We're going to talk about the offensive player of the week. And we're going to talk about the scheduling. You know, we got some good games coming up this week, okay? Now, before we get to naming these highlighted players that submitted their footage, you already know, this episode is brought to you by Semi-Pro Uncut, okay? Semi-Pro Uncut is hosted by my boy Jonathan Love on Facebook, okay? Semi-Pro Uncut is a platform where you can go over there and be uncut. You can talk smack. You can call a player out. You can call a coach out. You can call a team out. You can hate on somebody. Whatever you want to do, man. There's no filter over there at Semi-Pro Uncut. But I will warn you, like I always do, if you cannot stand the heat, do not walk in the kitchen. Now, let's get into some of these players submitted to us over the Tri-Point Football League bye week, okay? And we're going to start with the number 1 team in the Tri-Point Football League, the Ohio Gladiators. And if we're going to start with the number 1 football team, we might as well start with the number 1 player wearing number 1, Danny Skalecki, with a 50-yard pass to number 13, Devontae Shepard, okay? Now, this is one of my favorite plays. If you watch this play, man, this play is smooth. You see the dot. He tries to take it the distance, but he's tracked down by Willie Wills for the Ohio Bears. You will hear more about Willie Wills later on. They don't call him Wills for no reason. But right now, this is about Danny to Shepard, dot. You know what I mean? The whole play just looked like it progressed very professionally. These are the type of plays we want to represent the Tri-Point Football League, okay? Next, we have an interception for a touchdown by number 24, Russ Terry. He's a linebacker. Now, we always praise the big guys who get interceptions, but not just get interceptions, take it the distance, okay? This is the second linebacker that we've showed this year that had an interception and took it the distance. And like I always say, anytime you could cause a turnover and put points on the board for your team, you're giving your team the best chance to win. So one more time, let's give it up to Russ Terry, number 24 for the Ohio Gladiators, okay? Another play we got right here is number 5, DJ Harrison, okay, on a 10-yard run. They did win this game. It was a close one. This is another one of my favorite plays, okay? Because if you read in the ticker, it says number 1, the quarterback played center that play, okay? So that means the quarterback, for whatever reason, they didn't have a center. The quarterback got on the line and snapped the ball, okay? And they still scored. So one more time, shout out to Danny. Shout out to DJ Harrison. That's one heck of a play. That's one heck of a team. They're not number 1 for no reason. And last but not least, okay, we got the defensive player of the week, okay? I did not determine this, okay? But he's the defensive player of the week for a reason, and it's this reason right here. A fumble recovery for a touchdown, and from what I hear, that was the game-winning touchdown, okay? So let's give it up for Brandon Milbury or Milbry. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Brandon Milbury, okay, for a fumble recovery for a touchdown that led to the game-winning touchdown. Now, if you remember me saying it was a close one, that means the Ohio Gladiators was not the only team with highlights, and they wasn't the only team to put points up on the board. Right here, we have a guy by the name of Willie Wills on an 85-yard kick return for a touchdown, okay? Now, I say this all the time. Anytime you're able to put points on the board for your team and you're not on offense, you give your team the better chance of winning, okay? Unfortunately, this was not the case, but this is still a great kick return from Willie Wills, number 23. Earlier, you seen him make a touchdown-saving tackle whenever Danny connected with Devontae for 50 yards. Willie Wills, they don't call him Wills for no reason, okay? 85-yard touchdown on a kick return. Give it up to that guy. We will be seeing more of this young man later on in the year. Now, enough about the Gladiators and the Bears. Let's talk about some Saints. Right here, we have Nate Black on an interception. Number 20, Nate Black. He's an all-around athlete. He plays offense and defense. But right here, he just so happens to be at linebacker. I don't know who this quarterback was throwing it to. Maybe it was a miscommunication, but it doesn't matter because Nate Black was there to turn the ball over to give his team a better chance of winning. The Pittsburgh Saints did shut the truth out. And what makes this play better is I think he caught this pass with no gloves. He just wasn't able to take it the distance. But speaking of taking it the distance, we have another Saints player, okay? Eric Stevens on an interception for a touchdown, okay? Number 33, Eric Stevens. He's a corner. He's a real quick guy. I've seen his off-the-field work ethic. He works very hard. And right here, he's rewarded as he gets an interception and he takes it in the end zone for a touchdown. That's why the Pittsburgh Saints shut out the Steel Valley Truth. It's because of plays like this. The defense is clearly legit. The defense clearly shows up to play, and there's a reason why they're 3-1. So before we get into week 5 scheduling, okay, and week 5 rankings, I got to give a big shout out to Eastwood Films, okay? Eastwood Films been doing great work. He did Jay Sean Whitman for the Steel Valley Troops highlight tape, and he also did this one right here for Jaquan Green, all right? Make sure y'all go like him on Facebook. I do believe he has an Instagram. He has great quality photos, okay? And he's going to leave you feeling real confident going into the next week because you just watched yourself get busy on your last opponent, all right? So you going to go into the next week like, yo, Eastwood Films is about to be there. I'm about to get crazy on these boys, all right? So make sure y'all go like him up on Facebook, Eastwood Films. So let's get into this week 5 schedule, okay? Right here we have the Hawks and the Bears, okay? Now this is going to be a very good game, okay? The Bears are 2-2, the Hawks are undefeated, but the Bears just put up a big fight against the number 1 team. So what makes you think that they're not going to come into this game thinking that they can't beat the number 2 team in the Tri-Point Football League, okay? The Ohio Bears do travel to Greensburg. Make sure you keep a lookout for the flyer so you can be able to tell the direct address for this Hawks and Bears game. It's going to be a good game. If you're in the area, make sure you go check it out. Next, we got the Glads and the Cobras. Now, the Glads and the Cobras, they got a little bit of a history, okay? The Glads beat the Cobras already, but the Cobras want their lick back because the Cobras feel they got it together, all right? And not to mention, the Cobras have the Offensive Player of the Week for Week 4, and the Glads have the Defensive Player of the Week for Week 4. So this is going to be a good matchup, man. The Cobras feel like they're on the road. They could beat anybody right now. The Glads feel like they the top dogs and ain't nobody knocking them off, okay? Next, we got the Seminoles and the Saints. Now, this is a rivalry. The Seminoles play very, very hard. Even though they're 1-3, they took 2 forfeits. So I honestly believe the Seminoles would be 3-1 right now. But, you know, we can't go back on the past. Right now, they're 1-3, and they're looking to let the league know that they ain't no slouches and that they come to play. And the best way to do that is to beat the number 3 team in Tri-Point, the 3-1 Pittsburgh Saints. Okay, that's the best way to do it. That's the only way you're going to prove to the league that you ain't with the bullcrap. You got to beat the Pittsburgh Saints. This is going to be a good game. A lot of trash talk been going on. Both teams are very confident. And make sure y'all check that out and keep a lookout for the flyer so you can tell where the location of the game will be. Last but not least, we got the Kings and the Truth, okay? Now, the Truth is coming off a loss to the Pittsburgh Saints, a shutout. The Kings is coming off a loss to the Greensburg Golden Hawks, shutout. One of these teams will start building momentum right now, okay? The Steel Valley Truth is 2-2, and the Kings are 2-2. One of these teams will leave above 500. The other team will leave 2-3. This is going to be a good game. Jay Sean Whitman looking to have a comeback this week as he did not do what he said he was going to do in week 4 against the Pittsburgh Saints. Okay, so he's looking to have a comeback, and this game is the game to do it, to let the league know that he's not with the bullcrap either, and that he still has a name, and he still is one of the elite players in the Tri-Point Football League. That concludes this week's TSPN episode. This is episode 1. Stay tuned for episode 2 that will be coming after week 5, okay? I want to give a big shout out to Eastwood Films. I want to give a big shout out to Semi-Pro Uncut, and I want to give a big shout out to PA Analysts. Make sure you follow all those pages on Facebook. Make sure you follow those pages on Instagram, and make sure you subscribe to all of our YouTube channels. The bigger this platform grows, the more exposures that players and organizations have in the Tri-Point Semi-Pro Football League, okay? Now, like I always say to end every episode, you do not have to be perfect. You just got to be better than everybody else. Y'all be safe. Let's have some good games this week.